We went through this long process of looking at all of our critical assets and seeing how they're being affected by sea level rise and flooding now and in the future. And that's really important work because it allows us to see which areas we need to focus on the most. There are places in the community in Sarasota that are already experiencing really high tides. And people can be driving around in their cars and not even realizing that they're driving through salt water. In a big organization, no matter what organization you're in, there's often a lot of silos. People work in their silos or their area of expertise. And I feel like my role is to bring everyone together and have that technical expertise, but a broad technical expertise and like looking at the big picture for planning. The Climate Adaptation Center is great that we have that in our community. It's pretty rare and just the US in general. I haven't seen anything else like it. I had to have a nonprofit organization that's working in our community to really educate and bring that science, and just explain it to the general public in a great way. We saw in the 2024 hurricane season, and I worked in my emergency role, so I saw firsthand what our community was facing, and we really need to think about that economic value of investing in climate adaptation because there's all sorts of different studies out there, that show this, but if we invest $1 in climate adaptation, we can save $6 in mitigation cost. We've had a process for the last 2 years to complete a vulnerability assessment and adaptation plan. And that is really important because the state of Florida basically said all cities and counties should be doing this study and preparing, where we're all looking at the same data, we're all looking at the same sea level rise and flooding scenarios, and we can really look at those maps and assets, and we can see which areas we need to prioritize. We saw in the 2024 season all these different areas in the county. So, I mean, we got hit by 3 different hurricanes that had 3 different sets of damage. We had flooding with Debbie, we had storm surge with Helene, and then the wind damage with Milton. We really need to work across sectors as much as we possibly can. This is not just one sector's problem. This is our community's issues that we are facing. So we need to work with the foundations, philanthropy, local government, nonprofit organizations, and businesses to come up with innovative solutions. Sarasota would be the ideal place for a living laboratory for climate adaptation for many, many different reasons. Because Sarasota is such a unique place that we're able to bring in innovative research and innovative solutions to make our community more resilient, and having a hub for that here in Sarasota is ideal, but we all need to adapt. We have a changing environment, changing world, and if everyone could keep an open mind, it would make us all become more resilient and would make our community more resilient. I've already adapted in my role, and I'm continuing to adapt every single day.